really lucky. I've been listening to a couple of weather reports on YouTube. Ryan Hall, y'all, is a very good weather reporter, and he's an amateur. But he just went off stream. He streamed for over 12 hours today, giving updates of where it was and everything. And now I'm listening to, gosh, what's his name?
Mike something. Oh, this cat.
Yeah, this guy. Agenda Free TV. And there's a guy who's listening to the police scanners over in Laplace and just Metairie, just west of New Orleans. And it's really heartbreaking to hear the police scanners and people calling in for help, and they're not sending folks. Everybody's flooding over there.
Well, they've got heavy floods, 120-mile-an-hour winds. You cannot send a cop car, a high water vehicle. You can't send anything out in weather like that.
Well, they are.
Yeah, they did it anyway.
They're doing it anyway, and they're trying their best to get to folks.
I just heard a minute ago.
Hey, Laura, how are you, honey?
They had some of the Cajun Navy. Those guys are out there with chainsaws going through walls saving people.
Yeah, the Cajun Navy's out there, and they're doing what they always do. And I'm telling you what, without them, some of those people would perish, and that's the God's honest truth. They have done so much in the past probably 15 years or so to help people in hurricane situations. But we are fine. We are so grateful. We still have power, obviously, which is crazy because I just knew I'd wake up this morning and have absolutely no power.
It's flashed a few times.
The weather is bad, but it's not terrible. Your family's in Baton Rouge. It's getting bad there too. Oh no, Kat, I'm sorry.
Well, last report I heard.
Well, we have a contact in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I do. Last report I heard that Baton Rouge is on the other side of the eye, the west side of the eye.
The west side.
So they're not getting beat up like they were going to be. And the guy that I know over there, he said so far they're good.
Yeah. Is my audio real skippy? Because this morning it was cutting off the first 2 or 3 words of every sentence. You need a Jackery or Bluet for backup. You know what? I've been thinking about getting a Jackery for quite some time. And
what's that?
It's a solar powered generator. And you can get them as big or as little as you want. And I would like to have one just big enough to, I don't know, run a computer or charge all of our phones. Thankfully, right now, that's not an issue for us.
Do they make them big enough to run a house?
No, but they make them big enough to run a freezer.
We need one of those.
Well, they're about $3,000. So
start saving your pennies. Get hot.
Not anymore. Okay, just when you first came in. Thank you, DJ. I appreciate that. Yes, Baton Rouge is catching a break from the doom that was predicted. Yeah, yeah, they are. Right now, Metairie and Laplace seem to be in the worst spot. This morning, watching the video from Grand Isle was just heartbreaking. That entire island was completely underwater.
Yeah. At
least 4 feet covered. Okay, Kat, let us know. Let us know what they say. Laura, if it's buffering, hit the refresh button. I know it always works for me. A lot of the reason we might be having connectivity problems is, you know, there's a hurricane going on.
Bad weather, and there's everybody streaming to try to find out what's going on.
Right. There's a lot of communication going on back and forth right now. You can get one to run most of your house. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think what we are going to do in the future. Now, we've only been through, this is our 3rd real hurricane since we moved here.
Yeah.
We've had other tropical storms and things like that, but nothing where we lost power. Thankfully, we have not lost power here yet. My daughter lost power 4 miles down the road, but only for a short time. It came back on. and she's doing great down there at her house too. But our plan is when we buy our house, and I don't even know when that's going to be honest with you. We're not even shopping for one right now. But when we do that, we're just going to buy a whole house generator that runs on propane or natural gas. And that way it'll just automatically kick on if the power ever goes off.
Right.
And I think that's just it makes the most sense for living in this hurricane zone. If we're going to continue to keep getting hurricanes like we have been the last 2 or 3 years.
It's not going to stop.
Well, I know that, but the first 8 years that we lived here, we only went through one hurricane. We were only threatened by one hurricane. So in the past 2 years, it's just been nonstop, multiple times a season, multiple times. So, and who knows what's causing that. Hey, Jules, how are you doing? She's watched many generator reviews on some of my prepper friends' channels.
Oh, you
well, does one of them stick out to you?
Right.
I know Blue Eddie is a very popular one. I do know that. But you know, we're not in a position right now because we're just renting this place. So we're really not in a position to install a whole house generator. And who would do that, you know, because those things are thousands of dollars. I would do it for my own house, but not somebody else's, you know.
No, we always take it with us.
I guess.
Unplug that bad boy and roll out.
My nose is itching like crazy.
Sinuses.
I know.
Might be the hurricane.
It might be. But here, I'm going to open the door real quick and see what the weather looks like, y'all. Look, watch
really?
This. I am.
You're going to let a cat out. They're dumb.
I'm not going to let the cats out. Keep them away from the door.
Shut the door.
It got hotter.
Yeah. They're a tropical wave.
This morning when the wind first started blowing,
Dumb.
I see. What?
Dumb.
Who, him?
Yeah. He's like, it's raining. I'm going to go outside and play.
Stop it. You made me lose my train of thought, dang it. Anyhow, this morning, whenever the wind started blowing, well, I did a live stream at 2 o'clock this morning because I was having some real serious anxiety about this hurricane. And I always clean and cook and do just silly busy work when I'm nervous and anxious about something. So I turned on the stinking live stream, but before I did, I went outside and the weather was gross. It was terrible gross. It was sticky. It was hot. And it was like 89 degrees outside at 2 in the morning. It was ridiculous. And you could smell the storm coming. You could just smell it. I can't even explain it. Any of those of you have been in a hurricane, you understand what I'm talking about. That's funny. That's funny. No, the wind is really not blowing that bad right now. And it's really just sprinkling rain. Just a little pitter patter. But anyhow, so this morning when I went outside, I thought I am not going to hang out here. It's too hot and sticky. So 30 minutes later, I did that little move and took people outside to see what the yard looked like and, you know, what the weather was like. And I had this cool breeze on my face and the wind was blowing. And I'm like, holy crap, that really changed. So within 30 minutes, the weather completely did a 180. It was crazy. I've never seen that happen before. But we are so grateful. We really are so very grateful to be where we're at right now, because it just as easily could have come here as anywhere else. And what?
Look at that real quick.
Look at what? What am I looking at?
Lots of people calling.
Lots of people calling for help in LaPlace due to flooding from Hurricane Ida. Trying to make a map of all the addresses. This guy that's online on YouTube, it's called Agenda Free TV. He's really trying to help people out by posting on his Twitter all the addresses of people who are calling for help. Because he's listening to the scanners. And so he's hoping that other folks that are nearby can go over with their boats and maybe help them.
Well, the feed that was up before you looked said something about someone's house just their roof peeled off and a wall caved in.
Oh, God. So it's just heartbreaking to hear all of this. Kat, I'm not getting that many tornado alerts. I did see the last one I saw was about 3 minutes before we came on here, and Poppy checked his what is it? The weather app, and it said it was over by Bay St. Louis. Bay St. Louis. But yeah, they tornado warnings have been crazy today, and it's probably going to get worse.
Yes, the Cajun Navy is helping. We've been listening to them.
Who was that?
Cat.
Yeah, we've been listening, and there's rumors out there that the Cajun Navy's out there, and that don't surprise me because they're always the first ones to get out there.
They stay behind on purpose, just to help.
Well, I know that. That's what they call. I mean, that's their mission.
Yeah.
And they're actually the Cajun Navy is just a bunch of volunteers.
Airboats and all kinds of crazy
stuff.
stuff.
They've got the boats and they've got everything that they need. And it started I think after Katrina.
It started out as like a funny ha-ha last I heard.
Maybe it did. I don't know. But that was something that they did all the time over in those bayou type communities. And they would take their boats and help rescue each other, and then it just got bigger and bigger, and now they're well known for doing that. Heck yeah, Laura, we get well, we haven't, but tornadoes are spawned by hurricanes. The feeder bands that come around, usually on the east side of the hurricane, they'll come around and they feed that hurricane and give it energy. And if you're in the way of one of those feeder bands, there's usually tornadoes popping off all along the band. And it can be states away. This morning, my son, who lives in Pensacola, which is 2.5 hours away east of me, was getting tornado warnings. DJ said when he woke up, when I woke up, it honestly felt like we got the hurricane. I know we didn't, but it felt like just because of the change in the weather, DJ. Yeah, that Cajun Navy's beautiful souls risking life and limb. They started in 2016 when we flooded in Denham Springs. Okay, thank you, Kat. I thought it was earlier than that, but I do remember hearing about it on the news. Yeah, DJ, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little distracted, and I shouldn't be, but I am. I think my nerves are still wound up.
Well, and you're watching the news feed right there.
Yeah.
To see what's going on.
Yeah. Thankfully. Oh, Kat, this has been a day, hasn't it? Our tornadoes spawn from cold and hot weather. When they collide, is that what you're talking about, Laura? Because I know here in Tornado Alley, like Kansas, Oklahoma, sometimes even northern Mississippi gets a lot of tornadoes. A lot of that is from thunderstorms where the cold air meets the hot air. But here, usually the only tornadoes that we get are spawned from hurricane activity. Now, north of the interstate, because you got to remember, I live right here on the coast. The beach is only a half mile from my house as a crow flies, maybe less. So we're not really subjected to tornadoes much unless there's a hurricane. Yeah. Now, if you go 20 minutes up the road to the interstate, up there north of the interstate, they get tornadoes just from thunderstorms up there.
Yeah.
Um, thanks, Laura. She said we have the right to be distracted.
Right. Remember that one about 4 or 5 years ago? It was 2 hours north of here.
Columbia.
Yeah, wiped out that area, messed up the college. I had to do some work up there because it did tear up a lot of the infrastructure, and there was metal wrapped around trees, power poles. There were slabs where there used to be
Well, honey,
houses.
that's what happens in a tornado.
I know, but it was like a year later.
Yeah.
When I went up there and did some infrastructure work, catching the
well,
system
and
up.
you know, that's one of the things about living here. I've noticed that when there's damage from a storm, tornado, hurricane, whatever, they really don't care if they get right on fixing things or not. Now, I don't know if it's going to be that way over in New Orleans, but here in the small town that we live in, they still haven't fixed traffic lights from the hurricane we had last year. They still haven't fixed the harbor. They haven't fixed the pier that people used to fish off of all the time. And it's really disappointing sometimes how lax they are with getting things repaired after a big storm.
Fixing things, period.
Kat said they have power. Thank God. I think we'll be heading to Louisiana probably Tuesday to help family. I'm so grateful for the power. I was scared to death that we were going to be sitting here in 100-degree heat. But I surely hope that your family's doing all right, Kat. I can't imagine what they're going through. I really can't. Are you getting messages and texts or anything from them? Because I don't know if I could just sit in radio silence knowing what was going on. It would be very difficult. I'm sure you're in a pickle.
Let me find out something real quick.
Laura told you to be safe if you can. If you can get there, Kat. My sister had to take our dad to her house because he lost power at his house and the Generac didn't come on. Oh, no. Oh, bless his heart. He's 89 with dementia and very wobbly. And his stinking power didn't come on. Oh, gosh.
Have a generator and a stinking thing not work. That sucks.
Ain't that something to have a, yeah. But yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute today. I did take a little bit of a nap. I don't know. How long was I asleep?
Half the day.
No, I was not asleep half the day.
See, you probably woke up about an hour and a half ago. So probably about 5-6 hours.
Was I asleep that long?
2, 3, 4,
Y'all,
5,
I was
6,
in a
7,
coma.
8. Yeah, about 5-6 hours.
Oh my gosh. He was gone for 15 minutes and the dad's neighbor texted and said a tree had fallen on his house. You mean on your dad's house or the dad's neighbor's house? Why would he text and say a tree fell on my house? Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Well, if it fell on his house, he'd be like, I'm going to use his house.
How are you doing? You're darn right they were saved. Like God escorted them right out of there just in time. Check out the Blue Eddy Power Station to use anytime. Okay, I'll check that out. Kat, that's terrible. Yeah, we're doing great too now that we know we're not going to get slammed by that hurricane. There was a while there I wasn't sure in the middle of the night last night. You know, when Katrina hit, they were all forecasting that it was going to go to New Orleans. And New Orleans is 50, 60 miles away from us. Oh, thank you, Christina. I like that because I don't know what I like knowing people's names. But I'm going to have to put that in my memory. If I forget, please don't be offended because I'm an old lady. But anyhow, when they forecasted that it was going to go to New Orleans, nobody here in South Mississippi left because they didn't think it was going to be so bad. Well, it ended up turning and coming right down the road from me. And what?
Read that one right there.
What is this?
That's Ryan. That's over in the Baton Rouge.
Oh, goodness. One of Poppy's co-workers over in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, just texted and said lost power for good this time. He just heard 4 transformers blow. Hopefully he's got a generator. He said it's been kicking really hard there right now. And he's the one that's in Baton Rouge. Well, Moose Gal, today I feel pretty old. I think, being nervous about weather situations, especially natural disaster type situations, I think it just takes everything out of it. You can't keep your mind focused on one thing. And I'll be glad when that period is over, because I feel a lot of relief right now. And, it's it makes somebody feel guilty. And when I say somebody, I mean me, for being so relieved that we're going to be safe, knowing that an hour down the road, people are suffering, extreme suffering, extreme. And I almost feel bad saying, hey, we're safe, we're wonderful, everything's great here, knowing that if I just get in my car and go, I'm going to see a disaster of epic proportions, That's a crazy spot to be in. It's like whenever it's headed this way, you pray and you pray, come on, don't hit us, don't hit us. Don't come here, knowing full well that if it doesn't come to you, it's going to go somewhere else and destroy somebody else's life. Hey, Dwayne, we're alive. And we're doing great, and we still have power, and everything's wonderful for us. Unfortunately, South Louisiana is not so lucky. And Poppy, would you stop showing me this? Y'all look. This is what Poppy's showing me. Oh, it's got a glare on it. Shoot. Look at that. I guess that's somebody's parking garage or underneath their house. Where's that? Does it say where it is?
Yeah, it does. It's Port Fourchon Camp. Port
Fourchon.
Fourchon.
That's important. Yeah, that was earlier today, because Port Fourchon is kind of
south
past. They got a lot of the brunt of it, because it's right there by Grand Isle. I see that. Good that you are okay. I hope things get better for the others. I do too. Laura said, I hear you. When we had fires in my old home, I had 6 kids to worry about. 2 were nurses and the other worked with handicapped folks. So I had to worry where to meet up when they could. Yeah, that must have been terrible. Oh, man. See, and Poppy and I talk about moving all the time, and then when we consider it, the other natural disasters you got to worry about are earthquakes, tornadoes, fires, mudslides, flooding. I think I'd rather take my chances here on the coast and have 3 or 4 days to decide if I want to leave or not. And, honestly, if I don't leave and I know I'm in a cone of disaster, I don't have a whole lot of people to blame but myself if I end up dead,
Can we get a cool camper and an F-250 and just fly?
Well, that's what we're planning to do. We're planning to buy ourselves a travel trailer or a motorhome of some sort. And that way, if there's a decision to be made from here on out about leaving or not leaving, we can just get in the camper and go.
Yeah.
And I have family where I can park a camper if I need to. Or we could just take ourselves a little mini vacation, come home and pick up the disaster once we get back home.
Tell the kids to make a go bag and make a decision on the fly if we have to.
Yeah, and I don't mind look, this morning at 2:00, if that storm would have started to come this way, I'd have woke him up at 2 o'clock in the morning and said, "Come on, let's go. We're leaving."
Grab the important
Dwayne
paperwork and
said,
and go.
Wait. Oh, we were surrounded by fires in our area. Laura was surrounded by them.
Oof.
This summer. And Dwayne, y'all kind of live. I think you and Laura live. I don't know if you're close in Canada, but I think you're both in Canada. Correct me if I'm wrong. Over in the western side where all those fires were.
I've been to western and eastern Canada.
Those fires were in Sioux Lookout. Okay. Alberta. Okay. I've never been to Canada, and I sure would love to go. I see pictures of it on YouTube videos where people are camping, and the beautiful scenery is just unbelievable to me. And I love mountains. Oh my gosh, I love mountains. The only thing is, I like driving through the mountains and seeing the different formations, and like, because when you're on a road trip, you drive hundreds of miles maybe in a day, couple hundred anyway.
Yeah.
And so you get to see different formations and different scenery. I think if I lived in the same place and had to look at the same great big obstructed view, it might not be as cool as I think. Those fires sound much scarier than a hurricane. Oh, heck yeah, they do, Kat. That's where I'm at with it. I think because you don't have any time in a fire. It's like grab your driver's license and your birth certificate and get the heck out of Dodge. And DJ said, "I'm sure Pia wouldn't mind if you came to where she is." No, I bet she wouldn't. She might even let us park an RV in her backyard. What do you think?
Right. I've been to British Columbia over by Prince George, and let's see, all the way over here by Quebec, Montreal.
Yeah. Well, is it as pretty on both sides?
Yeah.
Isn't it? I wish we had some scenery to look at. Laura said it's beautiful here, like some places in the U.S. is amazing. Yeah, there's some beautiful places in the U.S. I've just never been there. And one of the reasons I've never been able to travel is when Poppy was in the military, I had to stay home and raise all the kids.
I got to run around and do the cool stuff.
He got to run around and go to Japan and Hawaii and all these places.
Australia
and
Korea.
And I was just kind of stuck at home.
I brought you coffee cups.
He did bring me coffee cups. I got coffee cups from Croatia,
Turkey,
and Dubrovnik, and Turkey, and Greece, and
I bought you a super cool leather jacket from Turkey.
Yeah, you did. This summer, British Columbia got hit hard by forest fires. Alberta, Manitoba, and Ontario got hit with them too. I didn't realize that. I thought it was only on the West Coast that got hit. But look, I don't know my Canadian geography very well, so all I know is Quebec is on that side.
Here, just a second, I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, show me a picture because I want to see. You know what, though? When I was in elementary school, they did make us memorize all the provinces in Canada, and I remember filling out a map, and you had to put where the province was on the map, but that's been 100 years ago, so I don't remember any of it. Oh, okay, there's BC, and okay, so I remember Saskatchewan. I remember writing that down.
Right.
I spelled it right.
I didn't.
Manitoba. Oh my goodness, so there were fires all the way across. Hey, Scully, how are you guys doing?
But then you got the smaller stuff too. You got Brunswick, Nova Scotia. Well, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia.
Scully also lives in our town, and he's saying it's no joke. You know what? We have had a lot of flooding, y'all, and a lot of rain. A lot of rain. I don't know how many inches, but it has rained since about what?
They said depending on where we're at in the Harrison County area.
That's not what I asked you. When did it start?
Early.
It was early. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning.
We got about 2 or 3 inches a few hours ago, 2 or 3 inches, and they're saying we get another 3 to 7.
Okay.
Last I heard. So we're looking at going to get about almost a foot of rain.
Yeah.
Right now, our front and backyard looks like a swamp.
Yeah, I can't walk in my yard. It's this deep in water.
Your feet will sink in.
Which, I mean, that's not a big deal. I'm comparing everything to what's going on in Louisiana. Water this deep in my yard is nothing. It'll go away as soon as the rain quits, you know.
Compared to that island we heard earlier today, 4 feet underwater. The whole
you need to get a passport. Last time I was in the U.S., I didn't need one so long ago. I remember when you didn't need one, but ever since, I think since 9/11, they've started requiring passports to go over there.
Yeah, first time I went out of country, I was 13. I think I was 13.
Nobody can hear you. Can y'all hear Poppy okay? Because
you say that every time. Nobody can hear you. And they all say, I can hear him.
I just want to make sure, because I can barely hear you.
You're deaf. She needs a hearing aid, I bet.
I do not need a hearing aid. I think one of the reasons I can't hear him sometimes is because he runs all of his words together.
I was never in chorus. I do not dictate and all that kind of stuff.
You mean diction?
Yeah, I don't have that either.
Diction?
Nope, don't do that either.
You need to learn some diction, especially if you're going to do videos. People need to understand what you're saying, and not translate mumbling.
Well, so far no one has said, "Hey, Poppy, you're a mumbler." Dwayne
said in grade school, a friend of mine got the answers on a test on the Canadian provinces wrong. Instead of Saskatchewan, he said Sasquatch. The teacher got
That's funny, though. That'd be something you would do.
I know, that is something I would do.
This crazy woman.
I love me some Bigfoot.
She would watch all the Bigfoot crazy shows, and she and her neighbor friend they had sticks they kept by their front door, and they'd walk outside and beat on the tree in the yard and yell at each other.
Oh God, it was so funny.
They wouldn't say words, they would just yell like a Sasquatch, and they knew what they were talking about.
We had a lot of fun with that.
Neighbors thought you were insane.
Look, I love those Bigfoot shows because it's always, they're on the edge of their seat. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? And nothing ever shows up. I love me some Sasquatch. Now, if I ever come across one, I'd probably faint and he'd eat me because he'd scare me to death. Saskatchewan borders the U.S. of Montana and North Dakota. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. And those are two states that I would love to go look and see, to visit and just to see them. North Dakota and Montana. Holy crap.
Go to the Badlands.
Yeah, I want to see all of it. I can't. Yeah, Scully, I know. I wish it would move too. I think we're so spoiled by all the sunshine that we get that when it rains for a whole day, we don't know what to do with ourselves. Is your yard completely flooded, Scully? Because I know mine is. I haven't even looked at the garden, but is it all right?
So far.
So far, the garden's
fine. Last I saw, it was pretty decent.
Okay. I mean, what can happen to it? It's a bunch of boxes filled up with dirt. As far as the plants go, I don't really care what happens to them because it's the change of the season anyway.
But you got your fall crop going on.
Well, I know, but I can always go buy more fall crop. Because Scully said he don't know what his yard looks like. He don't even want to go outside.
She makes me do the dirty work.
I don't blame you, Scully. Why is that so funny to me?
You're crazy.
Well, it's dark now, so you can't see anything anyway. You might as well wait till tomorrow.
He's rude.
I know, he needs to quit trying to jump on my table.
You pushed him.
Y'all, I've trained these cats not to get on my table, and they take a mind to do it. They just do it anyway.
They're cats.
I don't know where you are, Scully, but it's not blowing where I'm at.
Not right this minute.
Not right this minute.
But it has been. It's been howling for a while. No, it is right now.
Oh, yeah, it is. Never mind.
Shut the door. Stupid cat.
Come here. I'm going to put him away.
Go give him the V.
Okay, talk to him.
She thinks that the cats are not going to go outside because there's a hurricane. Cats are crazy. Cats will do whatever they want to do. She opens that door. And the two old ones want to run to it. And she's like, why do they want to go outside? Because they're cats and they're weird.
Well, y'all cats want to go outside all the time. But, yeah, it is blowing hard out there right now. I'm sorry, Scully. I stand corrected.
So you don't open the door. The cats don't go outside. It's easy.
He never leaves me alone, y'all. Never.
It's my job.
But yeah, it is kind of blowing pretty hard. Open that window a little bit so I can hear it. Just a little bit.
No.
Why not?
Because then all that hot steam air will be rolling inside of my house.
With the wind blowing 30 miles an hour. Really?
Yes.
He never lets me have any fun either.
You go stand outside.
Do you think when you... Wait a minute. I personally would like to get all my YouTube friends and hit... Oh, my God, DJ. You don't want to go to Las Vegas. I'm not going to Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas one time in my whole life, and it was for my daughter's wedding, and I spent 4 days there, and I've seen enough. It was... I felt like there was so much, like, what do you call it? Stimulation?
Yeah, stimuli.
Lights constantly, noise constantly, music constantly. I mean, 24/7, people everywhere. And I'm not used to that. I was raised in the country in a town where there was more cows than people. And I just can't take all of that. I can do it for a day. And then I need to go home to my quiet little place and enjoy myself. What? What do you say?
You think when you leave, they aren't walking all over the counters and tables?
Oh, hush. I don't even want to think about that. Ooh. They probably are, though. But it's funny, whenever they get up on the table, like when they're trying to sass me, I will look over at them and do like this, and they run. And I don't even know why, because I wouldn't hit one of them for nothing in the world. I might give them a little shove, but I would never hit one of them. All of Canada has more lakes than Russia. I did not know that.
I didn't know Russia had a lot of lakes.
I didn't know Russia had a lot of lakes either. Of course, I don't know a whole lot about other places. Yeah, that makes me sick that those cats are on my table. I love my cat too, Scully, but I don't want them on my table or my counters. But now, you know what I keep catching the gray one doing? I can't tell y'all how many sticks of butter that I have thrown out in the last couple of months. Apparently, he's discovered butter, and he will climb anywhere that the butter is and start licking the stick of butter.
It's like his mama. He eats butter.
Because I'm a ding-a-ling and I haven't learned to cover it up yet. Because I put it on a plate. And what I need to do is buy myself a little butter dish with the cover on it. And that way he wouldn't get to it. So it's my own fault. It's my own fault.
Honey.
What?
Why do you throw away the whole stick if he just licks a little bit of it?
I don't want cat tongue all over my food.
Just scrape it off.
No. Canada has the most freshwater lakes in the entire world. We need to go fishing in Canada.
No doubt.
Is a fishing license real cheap in Canada? She likes your oat milk. His cat likes his oat milk.
Huh?
I've never drank oat milk, Scully.
Our cats like ice cream and milk.
They do. They do. And but you shouldn't be giving them that.
I don't give it to them. They just walk up and take what they want.
I don't even know if it's healthy for them, but I wouldn't give them all that sugar.
I'm not sitting there feeding them a whole bowl. They lick the little bit that's out the bottom.
Right. Well, I don't hear the wind right now, do you? That's so crazy.
Yep.
Because it'll blow really, really hard for like 10 minutes, and then it'll stop. And then another part of that feeder band will come through, and it'll blow really, really hard and rain really, really hard, and then it'll stop. It's like it's bipolar. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Let me see an update here. I think I've got All of New Orleans is without power. There's flooding in LaPlace. We already knew that.
Yeah, they said all 8 main transmission lines of power from the Entergy company going into New Orleans have all been damaged.
The eastern eye wall of Ida is actually going right over LaPlace now.
So they're going to get a little bit of free
Take whatever means necessary to protect your life. That's this. Somebody tweeted that on this program that I'm watching. Scully said, the first time she put her paw in my cereal bowl, I said, it's yours now.
Well, putting their face versus their foot's different.
Yeah, I don't want no feet. Ooh. But then again, look where they lick it. Oh, God. Shush. I can't even talk about it. Can't talk about it. Mm-mm. But you know what? I always thought I hated cats. I never had a cat till I was, close to 50 years old? Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Pickles.
My son-in-law brought us a little skinny garbage can cat. He found it at a dumpster at the place that he works and brought it home. And then called me and said, hey, can you take this cat? Because they were about to do a cat roundup and send them all to the shelter. And he was afraid this one particular cat was going to get euthanized at the shelter because she was so skinny and sickly looking. So I told him, I said, go ahead and bring her. He told me it was a boy cat and his name was Mr. Pickles. And so he brought it over and I told him, I said, I'll try to find a home for this cat because I don't really like cats and blah, blah, blah. Well, Mr. Pickles turned out to be Mrs. Pickles and had kittens about a month later. Well, I was there when the kittens were born, and the one that tried to escape a few minutes ago ended up being my favorite kitty cat. So I kept him. And it's been, we've got 4 now. So I love them, and I've got a love-hate relationship with them. When they're, yeah. Well, they know that we lost Spetty. But I have a love-hate relationship with them because at 3 a.m, when one's crying to get in my bedroom and sounds like somebody's murdering him, then I kind of don't like them very much. So I have to get up, open the door, let him in. But then he's happy.
Yeah, he normally curls up on your legs and sleeps on you.
I know.
I've got pictures of him sleeping on her back.
Our cat doesn't let us hold her. Jules doesn't let me hold him. Now, we have one that's a lover. The little black one.
Well, this one
likes to be held, and this one likes to be held. But these are still babies. But our 2 bigger cats, neither one of them wants you to. They will come to me. I will be laying on my bed. And I'm a side sleeper. So I will be laying on there and he will climb right up on my hip and lay right across my hip in my side here. Balanced. But I can't touch him. If I touch him, he'll get up and walk away.
He has slept on her back, in the crook of your legs, by your stomach. He sleeps all over her.
Oh, his kitty lost 7 babies due to some kind of respiratory disease.
That sucks.
That sucks. That would break my heart. Okay, let me see what. Situation in LaPlace is dire with excessive rainfall on top of surge. Rain is starting to lift north some. If retreating, gosh dang it. If retreating to attics as a last resort, take tools to break out. Oh my gosh.
Well, they're telling people that because so many people lost their lives in Katrina.
I know, they were found in their attics because they couldn't get out. That's terrible. Scully rescued his cat.
What you need?
Your feet hurt.
My ankles.
What's wrong with them?
He's growing, honey.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you ain't done nothing but sit there and play video games all day. They can't be overstressed.
No, he's just old.
Just get him some Motrin. He'll be fine. my boy has growing pains. This boy has suffered with growing pains since he was about 2 years old. He would wake up in the middle of the night just screaming. And every time he grows a little bit, he gets these. Now he doesn't wake up screaming, but he dang sure tells us, hey, my legs are hurting. Let's see. Every road in Lafourche Parish is impassable, the sheriff says, and 2 of the 3 hospitals are damaged. Oh my gosh.
Well, one of the ones, the generator went down that was feeding the ICU unit,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody that was on ventilators had to be handbagged.
Yeah, I heard that. Scully said he had growing pains when he was a kid, and they were terrible. Yeah. I mean, he's 12 now, and he's still got, what, 6 more years of growing to do? Maybe 8. So
depends on how
we just get, usually Motrin helps him. Did you get your other medicine?
I got it.
Okay. I just want to make sure he has everything he needs. Did you eat? All right. Y'all, I took a nap. I was up all night long. Of course, worrying about the stinking storm. And I made breakfast. Poppy made the baked oatmeal, though, and it was really good. We had baked oatmeal with apples and cinnamon in it, and it was delicious.
And maple sausage.
Oh, yeah, he made maple sausage, too. But we had breakfast, and we're under a curfew. That was going to tell y'all that in the beginning. I completely forgot about it. 8 o'clock this morning, they put everybody under curfew, which basically means don't leave home till the storm's over unless there's an emergency. Well, you know what? Don't tell me I got to stay in my house. No, I understand the COVID curfew things whenever we were all on lockdown. I got that because it's a communicable disease. But if I decide I want to take my life into my own hands and drive down to the beach to see what the storm surge is doing, don't tell me I can't do that.
You know
that irritated me to death.
Do you know why they tell you that?
I know exactly why. Because they don't want their first responders getting injured. They don't care about me.
Well, no, they don't.
Well,
their job is not to care about
then
you.
They don't need to tell me what to do.
Their job is to take care of their people. Your job is to take care of your people, which are here in the
I am taking care of my people.
When you were out at the beach,
I always take care of my people.
When you were at the beach, you were not taking care of your people.
Well, they were sitting here playing video games. How much care did they need?
Well, you know what I mean,
but
right?
I was mad when I saw that curfew. I'm like, no. If I need a gallon of milk, I'm going to go out and get a gallon of milk. So I talked Poppy into breaking the law and taking me down there to do some covert recon.
She said there was going to be a, or was a.
I told him it was a curfew. It started at 8, and he thought I meant 8 p.m. instead of 8 a.m.
My butt would have stayed in the house. Because I work for first responders. I work for first responders. I understand the crap they go through.
Well, I know you do. Blah, blah, blah.
She's a dork.
That's what they get paid to do. Yeah.
You're still a dork.
They get paid for that. Oh, they don't get paid a lot, but that's their job.
Well,
that's their life's mission, is to go out and rescue people. Shoot, most of them live for it. Would you stop making that noise? You're irritating me.
You're irritating.
Why don't you go to bed? Don't you got to work tomorrow?
No. Big man gave us the day off tomorrow because of the crap weather.
I'm stuck with you for another day.
Another whole day.
Y'all please take pity on me.
Don't.
I really, because I got to homeschool the kids tomorrow too.
You're not, you know, all they got to do is hop on their computer and virtually learn crap.
Well, I'm going to have to make him do it.
Easy, just threaten with no
because he doesn't do it on his own. He's not a self-starter like my daughter is. He has to be coerced into doing the right thing. But what was I talking about before you interrupted me?
Actually, the boy interrupted you with his growing pains, and we were talking about all the crap going on in
Louisiana,
and you were getting ready to give everybody.
No, I was going to tell everybody. I was going to tell them something, but I was going to tell a story, and I forgot what it was.
Must not have been an important story.
Never is it?
Apparently.
Yeah, so.
Well, that sucks.
It feels really good not to have to be worried with what could have been. Honestly. Feels amazing. Hey, Scarface! What's so funny? Me and my husband bickering with each other? It's daily. It is daily. Let's see. What's going... Oh, well, that don't look too bad right there.
Well, no, that's just a daytime picture, a nice picture. They sent a video on Facebook saying, "Come rescue us, please."
Oh, God. You know, that's giving me so many Katrina vibes. It really is.
We were not here for that.
I know, but we watched it all on TV, and we had friends who lived here, and we heard the stories, and
I had friends flying through the sky down here right after that.
Mm-hmm. What exactly does that mean?
The squadron,
what he is trying
the
to
squadron
say.
of helicopters that was down here flying around doing rescue missions, bringing in food supplies, getting people out of the danger spots and to the USS Comfort off the coast was HC2, the squadron I used to belong to when I was in active duty Navy.
That's true. That's true. But you didn't have to come.
No.
How come?
Why? Because I was broken and I was not.
Oh, that's right. You were having that
crewman.
surgery and stuff back then.
I fixed the broken helicopters. I did not fly them. I was not a pilot.
Oh my. Oh my.
Cat's back.
Cat's back?
He is settled.
What'd you learn, Cat? Okay, he's settled. Oh, good. Thank God. We've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff going on over there, I'm telling you. It's almost, you know, when Poppy was deployed for 9/11, and he was on a submarine under the water, and when 9/11 happened, look, thank you, Laura. Get the cat. He's gonna eat my fish.
She's thirsty.
Well, get her some. Well, she's got water. I just gave her water.
They like drinking fish pee.
I'm gonna finish my story. So I became a news junkie after 9/11. I had to know every single thing that was going on, and I was trying to get information about just anything, because I knew he was over there, and I knew that things were serious. And that's kind of how I feel about watching everything that's going on in Louisiana right now. Is I just feel like information overload, but I can't stop. And it makes me feel terrible every time I hear anything terrible that's happening, but I can't stop. Nobody has power over there. I think it's going to be a long time before. Oh gosh, Kat, it'll probably be a couple of months. Yeah, that's, oh gosh.
One of the mayors over there said in Louisiana said that they're putting together rescue boats and putting boats in the water as soon as possible to go in and save.
Where did you just see that?
On that page.
Oh,
right
was
there.
it? Okay. I guess Poppy's watching all of our screens.
That's why I'm not staring at you guys all the time, because I got one here, and one there.
Well, that's okay. Just let me know when you see something.
Okay, you can read faster than me anyway.
I know.
She like speed reads everything.
I'll waste time. I'm not going to waste time reading anything. Get the information and go with it, right? You know what? I'm hungry. What are you making me for dinner?
I can nuke what we had for dinner.
That's fine. Would you do that? I just want something to eat. I'm dying. I haven't had anything to eat since about 7 o'clock this morning when we had that baked oatmeal, so I'm really hungry. Lafitte Mayor, I wish this guy would quit. Pleads for help with water rescue. Says 200 people are stranded and in imminent danger. Holy Moses. And that's in Lafitte. The levee was overrun in Lafitte. Oh my God, total devastation. Oh geez. And that's a brand new levee in Lafitte.
Now, did it break? Or
it overtopped. It went over the top.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Make it taller.
So that means that the storm surge is taller than the levee, which either that or they've had so much rain that the combination,
Right.
God, that's scary. How is my garden looking? Cat, I don't know. Poppy said it looks okay from the back porch.
I will go look in a minute.
Will you look? Yeah. Okay, Poppy's going to go look for us. Oh, is it called Lafitte? Thank you, Kat. See, I don't understand all these French terms. It looked like Lafitte.
We should get our French class daughter out here.
Hey, my daughter's taking French in high school this year, so maybe she can help me with all these French terms. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. I know some of them, but the ones that I'm not familiar with, I struggle with. Like I knew that Lafouche was Lafouche. I didn't know about Lafitte.
Well, we got some of the names around here that are French.
And I know Gaucher and I know Saucher, and but those are just the ones I'm familiar with. How high is the levee? Laura, I don't know. I don't live over there, and I'll be honest with you, I've never even seen a levee. Kat, can you tell us a little bit about levees?
Some of them are tall enough to keep out the ocean, honey, or Lake Pontchartrain.
Laura, Poppy just said that they're tall enough to keep the ocean out. I don't exactly know what that means. I'm going to assume that that's really, really tall. What?
In some places that I've been over there to work, you'll see a house and then a brick wall that's like maybe 10 feet taller than the house. And if that's where it's breaching, then you're talking 20 feet of surge, if that's where it's at.
Give or take 20 feet. But like I said, I've never seen a levee. The only thing I know about a levee is bye bye Miss American Pie, drove my Chevy to the levee. That's all I know.
Honey, put it this way, some levees are so big that they build regular roads on. Some of them are so tall the train travels on them.
Okay.
And they're supposed to keep out Lake Pontchartrain and the ocean.
And there you have it.
Some of them are huge.
Kat said she doesn't know how high it is, but she stood on it and looked down, but I have no idea. Very, very high.
You wouldn't have ankles anymore.
If you jumped, you might break your legs and your back. But Laura, understand too that the city of New Orleans in particular is below sea level. So they have to have the levees. And now I don't know about Lafitte, and I don't even know how. I know it's kind of close to New Orleans, but I don't know how close. But in New Orleans proper, they have to have those levees because you can walk down the it's like a boardwalk along the river, and you're walking on the boardwalk and you look up and see boats passing you because the water level is higher than your head, and there's a wall there keeping it from coming over. New Orleans is an interesting place. It really is. Has a lot of rich history, a lot of wonderful music, and the food. Look, I could start at one end of New Orleans and eat my way to the other end because the food is fantastic. But it is a strange place. There's a lot of crime there. There's a lot of homeless people there. It's a place where alternative lifestyles are very, very accepted. And it's just a melting pot of culture and busy life. It's a really neat place. I don't like to go there just because it's kind of scary to me. But again, we already established the fact that I don't go places where there's lots of people. So Yeah, it is scary to think that the water is higher than the town. But that's just this morning when the hurricane came on shore, it hit Grand Isle, Louisiana. You should Google it. It's a little island, sort of. No, it's raining. It's raining big time out there now. But it's like an island, and it's only at 4 feet. Or it's at sea level. So when the storm surge came in, it covered that whole island in 4 feet of water. And that was when the cameras went out. I don't know how high it went up after that. Kat says it's not her cup of tea either. Certain places you don't go. Voodoo. Oh. Yeah. Well, voodoo don't bother me too much. I mean, I've never been to those places that you don't go either. But I'm sorry, y'all. I've got to eat something. Yeah. Yeah, New Orleans is not my favorite place, Kat. It's just scary, especially in the quarter. But I did have one of the best sandwiches I ever ate in my life in New Orleans. It's that, Kat, you probably know where this is. It's this little, down by the Cafe Du Monde. If you go up the street a ways, it's right on the corner, and it's this little shop, a little sandwich shop. And they have the best muffalettas I've ever eaten. And I didn't even, when I ate that sandwich, I didn't even know what a muffaletta was. But boy, I'm telling you what, I would go there tomorrow if I could get me one of them sandwiches. I love that sandwich. And they don't taste the same over here as it does over there, which is kind of weird. But let's see what's going on now. Flooding 4 miles west-northwest of Norco, Louisiana. I don't know where that is. Houses in this area are dislocated due to extreme flooding. Wesley,
what?
Translate this sentence.
Okay.
Houses in this area are dislocated due to extreme flooding. Dozens of homes with people on rooftops seeking assistance. We're on a boat attempting rescues. Can't adequately gauge something. That was the end of the tweet.
They probably are having a hard time figuring out where in the world they are because
they've either been knocked off their foundations or they're in pieces.
Or it might have been a trailer home community, because there are several communities over there that are nothing but trailers, or the old Katrina cottages, and they're up on blocks. They look cool. They've all been made pretty, but they float.
Kat said Baton Rouge isn't my cup of tea either. I was born and raised there, but I only go to visit family. I've never been to Baton Rouge, but Poppy was just there last week.
Yeah. I was there Tuesday.
Laura likes a Sammy. I like sandwiches too.
Well, a little bit of your reed fence is down, but I can fix that.
Oh, my fence came down?
Just a little bit of it. Well, maybe 2 feet.
Well, we got the other one. Yep. Last year during the hurricane, when my porch screen got tore up, it also tore the little reed fencing that I have to keep privacy. I needed some privacy in this yard. So it knocked that down too, and Poppy put it back. But it had a rip in it, and it wasn't in real good shape. So we bought another one, and it's sitting out in our shed, and we haven't even put it up yet. So I think after this experience, we'll probably end up putting the new fence up. Those things are so cheap, y'all. We made a fence out of, what was it, 2x3s or no, landscape timbers.
Yeah, yard timbers.
We used 3 yard timbers.
1x4s.
1x4s going across this way. And $25 worth of 16-foot reed fencing. And it has been the best. I like having that reed fencing there because it blocks the view of the neighbors and it makes me feel like I have a little bit of privacy, and I like that.
Excuse me.
So I don't see any new updates. I'm just reading tweets that I'm seeing online.
On this news feed.
Mm-hmm.
Does it show how long this cat's been going?
I don't know. All it's saying right now is what we already know. New Orleans is without power and La Place is underwater. Muffaletta. M-U-F-F. Hang on. What?
One of the tweets that keep popping up, or I guess the
It's
word.
what he's saying.
Okay, well, there was a guy in a tree with his dogs.
M-U-F-F-U-L-E-T-T-A. I can't put it in the chat. I'm not on StreamYard. I'm up. M-U-F-F-U-L-E-T-T-A.
Just type it on my phone. Here.
Hey, Cat, hang on a minute. Okay. You do it. M-U-F-F-U-L-E-T-T-A.
Lord, slow down. M-U-F-F-U.
You have something for me. I mailed you yesterday, but not sure if I had your correct email. It's just gulfcoastgranny@gmail.com. I did get an email from Sheena, I believe. That's not the same person. No. Didn't Chubby Checker die in Katrina, or did they get him out? I don't know. I'm going to Google that.
Okay, well, is it M-U-F-F-E-L-A-T-T-A?
L-E-T-T-A. M-U-F-F-U-L-E-T-T-A.
Well, my phone has never seen the word muffaletta, apparently.
Muffaletta.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's never seen that word either, and it wanted to call it a muffler.
I'm looking. No, he died May 15th, 2020 of natural causes. Geez, it sounds like you're telling me off. Yeah, that does sound like a muffaletta.
But they're good.
I'll look, Cat.
Especially if you like olives.
I'm gonna look right now.
Looking for what? Cajun spelling?
You're all up in my business.
Well, you got this big fuzzy thing, and I can't see what's up there, and mine's slower than yours.
Okay, Gmail. Let's see. Oh, my nose itches so bad.
Take a Zyrtec.
I should. Or a Benadryl.
Something.
It'll take me about 3 Benadryls. I'll sleep all night, finally.
Frying pan.
Let's see. I'm going to just search the email.
I used to know someone with the last name of Lafayette. Hey, they might have been related to that pirate.
What pirate?
Had the last name of Lafayette.
Well, I don't know pirates.
Well, they're all dead, honey, so you know.
Yeah, olives are amazing. And they make this, oh gosh, what do they call it? Is it tapenade?
Yes.
Whoo!
I think
that's how you say it. With the olives and the dressing, and oh my gosh, it is so delicious. He probably did have to be rescued from Katrina if he was in New Orleans. That whole place was underwater about 8 to 10 feet, wasn't it? Dwayne knew somebody. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, that was American Pie. Okay, here we go. I got the email, Cat. I got it right here. I'm going to email you back.
Another one from Led Zeppelin is In Through the Outdoor.
There. I just sent you one back. When the Levee Breaks, a song that Led Zeppelin covered. I did not know that.
And I just told him another Led Zeppelin song. In Through the Outdoor.
I probably heard all of them. I just don't know the names of them. Yeah. Look, I used to work in a bar in Jacksonville, Florida. And I probably heard every stinking 80s and 70s rock song you could think of.
Especially if it was by Skinner.
Oh, my God. Shut up. Jeez.
It's a little damp outside today.
Look. Leonard Skinner is from Jacksonville, the whole group. Or they were. Still are. Whichever ones of them are left.
Quite a few of them.
Well, after the plane crash and some of them died, it became anthem in Jacksonville. And you couldn't go to a club or a bar or a dive or any place that sold beer and not hear Sweet Home Alabama, Gimme 3 Steps, and Freebird 45 times an hour. Okay, that might be an exaggeration, but it's the God's honest truth. I would get so sick of hearing those. I would just walk outside. I'm like, okay, y'all, you played the song. You don't have a bartender. And I'd wait till the song was over and come back inside. And people used to do it just to irritate me and see me leave the bar.
Remember the Bennigan's commercials?
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope.
No. Well,
I don't remember nothing.
You're a dork.
No, I don't remember the
You said I
Bennigan's
don't remember
commercials.
nothing. Well, they have a theme song, and in Bennigan's, the theme song was on the stinking jukebox, and there was a skip button on the back of it where all the employees knew where the skip button was.
You just stick.
No, as soon as somebody would play that stinking song, we walked by Skip.
That's funny.
We hated that stinking song.
You made green beans again?
No, they're left over from yesterday. I figure you want some beans.
Mm-mm.
No?
I don't want those.
Why not? They're good.
They might be, but I don't. Get off. Go. Don't talk back to me.
He will.
I know he does all the
He
time.
cuss at you.
Oh yeah, and Simple Man too. My mama told me.
She hates them, but she sings them.
I know every word. I can't stand them. I mean, they had their place in history. Let's put it that way. They certainly did. And I'm trying to stay positive today.
That's why you're hating on music and being mean to cats.
That's why I'm hating on you and the cats.
I should have kicked you outside to look at your own stinking garden in the rain.
Cat likes Simple Man. Because she has hearts next to it. Look.
Yep.
So how's the garden look? Didn't you just go out there?
Yeah, I just told you about it, Chucklehead.
Y'all, what did he say about my garden? Green beans and bacon. Actually, I have green beans and sausage.
And taters.
And roasted potatoes. And it's pretty good. Oh, and some onions. He caramelized the onions with it. It's very, very good. Let me get back over here to my... Oh, God, there's 6 or 7 feet of water over I-10 west of 55 in La Place. Cat, can you believe that? And surrounding areas are submerged. Numerous 18-wheelers stranded, water up to the middle of the cab.
Damn.
Holy Toledo, that's at least 7 feet.
Well, that's what he said, 7 feet.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh, my God. This storm needs to get the hell out of Dodge. Why can't it just go? Y'all, this is the importance. As you watch the news tomorrow and you hear the stories that are coming out of Louisiana, remember how important it is. If you're in a place where there's a natural disaster and it's targeting you,
run.
Get out. Please get out. Please. Tell me about my garden. Laura didn't hear it either.
Because someone was texting her.
Well, I know, but she wants an update.
Okay, I'll say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you read fences down about 2 feet of it.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
Side, not that side.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
But the garden itself all looks good. Your okra's standing. Everything looks good. Your chickens are fine. Your rabbits are fine. Everything is good. It's just mushy.
Well, we can deal with mushy. Just winding up the surge.
It depends where you're at.
I think it does depend on where you're at. I don't think the surge is finished yet, honestly.
Because earlier today, Highway 90 down by Biloxi and Gulfport
was covered
underwater completely. And then you get to us, it wasn't underwater at all. Then you get further down by Pass Christian, Bay St. Louis, it was underwater.
Mm-hmm. So we might be
a tad bit higher.
A higher elevation than those two towns. But as far as Louisiana goes, that surge isn't over yet.
No.
And it started this morning early.
Well, that one island was at least 4 feet underwater.
I know. And they were now, and that was before the back of the storm came through. See, when you have a hurricane, you get the initial surge and then you get storm. If you're by the eye, what happens is you go through the eye and that backside of that storm will kick anything that you've been through so far. It is the worst part of the storm to be in. When that backside comes through, especially if you're in the eastern side of the backside, it pushes the water. And that's where the rest of the surge comes from. And that's someplace I would never want to be.
No.
Even if it's only a 5-foot surge, I wouldn't want to be in it. It has been a long day, Kat. It has. I know you have been worried sick, haven't you? Oh, that just breaks my heart, too. God. I'm so happy that I don't have family over there. Of course, you know, I got family right here. And even though we're 4 miles away, I've called her 2 or 3 times today and said, hey, how's everything going? Are you okay? Do you need anything? How are the kids? You know I'm only 4 miles away, Mom. I'm doing the same as you are. That's what she said to me. I said, yeah, I know, but I'm the mama, and I worry, and that's what happens when you're the mom.
5 people trapped in an attic.
Oh, God. Is that in LaPlace? Yep. Thank God they're putting addresses. I mean, look. I know people don't usually like to have their address posted all over YouTube, but this man is posting addresses so that if there's somebody watching that can help, they can get to them, and I think that's amazing. How do you sleep with this going on? Last night I didn't, but this afternoon I was just absolutely, look, I stayed up all night last night. I did not sleep at all. I think I did take a nap yesterday evening. I woke up at about 12:30, 1 o'clock. I came out here to check to see what the weather was doing, and I was up ever since until I took a nap today.
Yeah.
And the reason that I was able to sleep today is because nothing was going on other than rain and a little bit of wind. It wasn't bad. And I knew the storm was headed that way and not coming this way. So it made it a lot better. If I had family over there, I can promise you I wouldn't be sleeping. Not until they were safe.
Oh.
What?
That building is gone.
Oh. Well, there's a building gone down there in New Orleans.
It's a big, beautiful, old school brick building. That's not giving you an address.
No.
What's that say? What's that one?
I can't see it.
It looks like it was in front of the hospital or one of the big, fancy, beautiful buildings down there. And they showed you the what's going on right now picture, and almost all the walls are caved in.
Yeah, it was
and
gone.
It was a huge 2-story brick building.
Man. Kat says you have to bring a saw with you in the attic to be able to cut through the roof. That's what my husband's did. Yeah. Kat, people died in their attics during Katrina because they couldn't get out.
Saw, axe, sledgehammer, something to knock your way through.
Guess Kat, as not all have windows. No, down here attics don't have windows usually. I know up where you're from, I think the architecture is different, and they do have windows in attics. And actually here, most places don't have walk-in attics. You know, like where you could climb the stairs and get in and stand up in your attic. It's not like that. They're like, you have to crawl in them and in between the trusses of your roof. They're not floored, most of them. They don't have flooring in them. I know in our house in Virginia, we had a stand-up attic where it was floored, and my gosh, we could have made a room out of it if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Only we didn't have windows in that either.
No.
But we could have put a dormer in and had windows. Do you want my computer? Here.
No.
Here, take it. Because you're leaning all over me and I don't like it.
You're a weirdo. I'm trying to pay attention.
But here, it's not like that. The attics, you have to crawl in them. And that's what these people did. That the water rose so high that their entire house was completely full of water. And they would have to get in their attics to get away from the water. And then they'd get trapped up there and couldn't get out, and they perished. And that happened so much during Katrina here. And I bet you you're going to hear that over there. Hopefully
not.
They're not panicking and they're taking something with them to cut themselves out. Some people put floors down and use it for another space or store. Yeah, I've seen that before.
We used ours for stuff in the attic.
Yeah, we used ours for storage. We had a whole other house up there. But and Christmas decorations out the wazoo. But yeah, that happens a lot down here.
200 people are stranded and in immediate danger.
Where?
That's what the Lafayette mayor said.
Oh, well, I already read that one.
Okay.
Yeah. About the 200 people stranded in imminent danger. You know, just thinking about all that crap going on over there makes my stomach just turn upside down. I can't stand the thought of it. And again, guilty AF that it didn't come here, and I'm relieved about it. Some places in the U.S. don't have basements either. I thought it was odd. We don't have a basement.
I work with someone who's got a basement, and they live right by the river.
It's very unusual this close to the
water.
This close to the Gulf to have a basement. And not only that, but where I live, it's all swampland. Well, it used to be. Not anymore. Till there's a storm, and then it turns into what it used to be.
Right.
But if you dig down 2 or 3 feet in the backyard, you're going to hit water.
Oh, yeah.
So all the basements here have to have sump pumps and stuff like that because they get full of water when it rains. If somebody is brave enough to have a basement. A lot of the houses here are built on slab foundations or built on pier and beam foundations. And then down closer you get to the water, they get 18 feet tall in the air and they're on stilts. All the new construction downtown, a lot of the new construction downtown is on stilts. There are some areas that don't have to be on stilts. It all depends on what the base flood level is.
Yeah, it's a lot of sand. We had to have our plumbing completely redone in our other house, and they dug like 6 feet under our house over there. And our yard was full of sand. I'm like, where'd that crap come from? They're like, oh, that's under your house. I'm like, oh, so we don't have a real foundation at all. We've got sand.
Yeah.
And that's why our plumbing went to the pooper.
Well, I think it was more than that, but okay.
Well, because the house settled, and the way they built our house, when it settled, it broke the pipes, which they used cast iron instead of plastic like they should have, or PVC. But still plastic.
Yeah.
But they didn't use the right material, even though it was available. So because they suck, we had to pay a whole bunch of stinking money.
It was a lot. But the sand does cause a lot of drainage. You know, when I water my lawn, my garden. That's why I have raised beds, because I can put soil in there that will hold the moisture. If I were to plow up this yard and just use the soil that we have, it would drain like a sieve, and everything would stay wet. I mean, dry, because it can rain. Like I told you earlier, I have 3 or 4 inches of water standing in my yard right now. As soon as this rain and this storm is gone, it'll be gone. It might take a half a day for it to drain off, and then it's gone. And that's how porous the soil is here. Oh. More people pleading. My cousins are trapped. Please help. 2, we'll see. Okay, that's the address. 1 adult and 2 children. Oh no.
But he gave the address.
I hope they get to him. 1 adult?
1 adult, 2 kids.
Don't tell me stories about kids. I can't handle that.
What's wrong?
Just people trapped in their houses over in.
I don't want to hear about it. I'm gonna break out.
I know.
I want to call some brownie.
Go get one. 16 years old.
Alright, don't make fun of me.
Well, if she knew how to make the brownies versus making brownie brittle.
My daughter's 16. She comes in here and says, I want a brownie.
What would you rather me do? Take the whole box with me?
No, if you want a brownie, reach up there and get it, and don't expect me to get it for you, and don't eat the whole box like a 5-year-old would. Duh.
Levees. Did that just say over top? Okay, that says over top. I thought it said top hold. Pause it and go back.
No, I think the levees are in place. They're just, the water's coming over them. But, well.
Oh, levee failure reported. Okay.
Levee failure?
Yep, right here.
Where?
16 WAPT breaking levee failure reported in Jean Lafitte. Jean Lafitte.
In Jean Lafitte, there's a levee failure. I did know Jean. Sorry, cat. And now I know Lafitte.
I knew Lafitte, but I didn't know John.
Well, why didn't you correct me?
Because I didn't see what you were reading.
Oh.
I'm waiting for my new glasses to come in.
Yeah. Yeah, Poppy's getting new glasses here as soon as the VA decides to send them to him. I'll be glad when they do, honestly, because he really needs them. You've had those for what, 2 years?
Yeah. Last time I didn't need a correction. This year I need a slight correction.
That's because you're getting closer to 50. 50.
Thanks, Granny.
I'm 50.
No, you're more than 50.
Hey, life begins at 50, they say. I'm thinking it might if you don't have children still at home.
we're gonna have them. I'll be 56 or 7 or 8 when we.
Do you know I'll be 62 years old when my son graduates high school if he doesn't fail a grade?
He's got all A's so far.
I know he does. Y'all. It's the 3rd week of school, and both of my children have straight A's still. What is going on? That is unheard of in this house. Now, they do make decent grades, but they always have, both of them really struggle in math because it doesn't interest them, and it's their weakest subject. Let's put it that way. And so usually I'm having to harp on them. Okay, you got to bring that math grade up. Got to bring that math grade up. You can't make a C. For my older daughter, she's trying to get a scholarship. So I'm trying to tell her you can't make C's and get scholarships. The boy, I don't care if the boy makes a C in math or not, as long as he passes.
Well, not until he gets to the high school.
Not until he gets to the high school level, and that depends on what he wants to do with his life. If he don't want a scholarship, fine.
Well, so far he wants to be an engineer.
I know.
He wants to create things.
Well, good. I hope he does. He might be our only hope for somebody to take care of us when we're old.
Because all of us said we're going to have to play roll the ball games.
I know. My two oldest daughters have already. I think they've already paid for the nursing home that they're going to put us in.
Right.
And it wouldn't surprise me a bit because they're old and bitter too. So my son, who's only 12, he's going to have to rescue us from the older daughters and their evil, diabolical plan to put us in this nursing home and make us do dishes. They want to make us do dishes to get back at us for all the dishes they had to wash when they were kids.
I guess we have one of us on baseboard duty too then. And
I used to tell them, you think you're doing a lot of dishes now? Wait till you get grown. See how many dishes you have to do. Dang. There won't be none. What?
This lady's in her attic with her grandparents and her kids and nieces and others.
All of them are in the attic?
At the place.
Bamboo Road? Oh my God. Is that because the water's all the way to the sea? Who knows? I can't even think about that. Good grades the first. DJ, you are not kidding. But I'm counting the weeks because I'm enjoying just as long as I can.
Yeah, don't jinx it, DJ. No jinx.
He's right. He's right, though.
I know. Still don't jinx it.
Because, the first 9 weeks of school is just a repeat of the last year.
Yeah, refresher.
And if they don't make good grades the first 9 weeks, what the heck did they do all year last year?
Goof off.
But I'm tickled because. Just because. Because I know by Christmas time we're going to be struggling again. Oh, that's funny. What did she? Hang on. Can be. Laura, what can be good money? My son being an engineer? Is that what you're talking about? Well, he ain't one yet, but we're hoping. Good grades the first week is yeah. That is so funny, DJ. God, that's funny. Hey, honey, why don't you make me some coffee? Like I need coffee. Please. Is there some in there?
Yeah.
Well, just heat it up. It'll be easy. So what's everybody? Y'all got to go to work tomorrow? Anybody? Cypress, did you ever get that new job, Laura? Dwayne, what is for safety reasons? I forget where we were going with that. I'm sorry. Look, I'm just happy to be alive, y'all. I know that sounds silly, but I'm so happy that the house is in one piece and
I'm not hiding in the attic.
The cars are in one piece. There's not a tree laying in the cars or the house. The kids are enjoying themselves, and I have power.
You don't jinx everything.
Ooh, you hear that?
Yeah, because you're talking.
Hey, y'all want to go outside? Let's go outside.
Shut the door, Jill. Cat outside.
Well, I got to have the light, so give me some.
All you need to do is shake your hands. Don't.
No, this.
Stop.
Do that.
Go outside with your hands and that light will come on. Go.
All right, we're outside.
Wave your hands.
Okay, I'm on the porch. You hear it? We're watching agenda-free TV, Cat. Does it sound like this at your house, Cat? Okay, the only thing I can show you is all the water dangling off the porch. You can't really see the wind, but you can kind of hear it. You can hear the way that the wind is making the rain. Wow. The only thing bad about my garden is the grass is growing too much and I need to weed eat. see. There. Okay, I'm going to go back inside before a tree falls on me.
Shut that door.
Well, if it didn't stick, I would have already shut it.
You know why it's sticking?
Why don't you put some pledge on it? Yeah, it's swelling because of the stinking humidity. I know exactly why it's sticking.
And look who wanted to go outside as soon as you came.
Okay, now I got to put my glasses back on. Poppy locked. DJ said Poppy probably locked you out.
Tried.
Okay, Kat, I'm sorry. It was too noisy out there. The channel that we're watching for the tweets is Agenda Free TV. And there we go. That was our backyard for now. And it's coming and going. Oh gosh, I've got rainwater all over me. That's coming and going. 10 minutes from now, it'll be silent out there. And then it'll kick up again. And it's been doing that off and on all night long. And now I'm covered in raindrops too. I'm cold.
You're gonna melt?
No, I won't melt, but I'm cold. That's for sure. But luckily, that's all we're dealing with. And IDM, is this the blue wave they were talking about? I don't know what the blue wave is. What's the blue wave?
I don't know.
Help me figure that out. Help me figure that out. I don't know what you're talking about. So if you could let me know, that'd be great. So from what I understand, it's going to be off and on like this all night long. And who knows, we might still Biden in them. I don't know where you saw a blue wave. So there's that. So I guess the answer is no. The answer to your question is no. There's no blue waves. At least not right now. We're actually just talking about hurricanes and being grateful that we are not being too affected by
the storm.
Yeah.
And our water around here is brown and gross.
Thank you very much.
Blue.
Thank you very much. We've been very lucky and grateful so far and have not been very affected at all, other than a lot of rain and a lot of wind. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right.
Oh, that was you.
It was my phone telling me it was charging again. But whew, gosh, that was just 2 or 3 minutes out there, if that, and I'm sopping wet. Gosh, yuck.
You were only on the porch.
I know, I was only on the porch.
I walked around the whole stinking yard.
You did? Well,
Yeah.
were you sopping wet?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't even know Poppy was sopping wet when he came in from out there.
I dried off.
What else are you looking at? Anything? Why don't you tell everybody, because I have to take a little bio break.
I'm just watching this guy's website, and he's finding all these feeds of all these people that are tweets and feeds helping, I guess, first responders find all these people that are stuck in their attics. And some of the stuff that he's bringing up, it sucks. People's houses are having their roofs peeled off. One said that their wall caved in. One was a guy in a tree with his dogs. Just And some of them saying, we can't come to you. We can't get there yet. We're trying. It'll be a few hours. So, and we just flickered. So they have it 100 times worse. So I also read on the Weather Channel that a ferry and 20 barges broke loose. And that's just floating around in the river. The Coast Guard said, what are we going to do about it? We can't do anything about this in this storm right now. I was also watching the Weather Channel, and one of the guys that was reporting in downtown Bourbon Street had the entire roof of a building peel off and fall into the alleyway. Just a lot of crud. Nothing good.
I'm going to need you to go to Winn-Dixie tomorrow and get another one of these.
Maybe.
Because we're going to need 2. Or maybe 1.5.
Well, we might have the other half sitting up there.
I think we're going to do the chili recipe tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah.
Patrick's been after me for 3 weeks now to make chili. So I think I'm going to do that. It's so sad, and the fact that it's happening at night makes it worse. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. That is the truth. Blue wave is, DJ's telling me Blue wave is Democratic Party being in power, and no, this hurricane isn't the blue wave. Yeah, I was so confused. I'm like, whoa, what? Yes, chili is yum, and Poppy makes some of the best chili I've ever eaten. And I can't eat very, very spicy food. And so he makes it so that it doesn't burn my face off, but it tastes so, so good. And so we're going to make some together. Hang on. Let's see. There we go. I'm caught up. Great. So what are you looking at? Anything earth-shattering?
At the Mississippi River right now.
Oh my God, y'all!
Trying to find out where those 20 barges are.
Oh yeah, there was 20 barges broke loose. Yeah, a deep water rig broke loose 130 miles south of the coast, and it's floating in the Gulf. Oh my God! Hey, we ought to go get it and claim it.
We would need a boat to go claim that.
I know.
But if there's
what's more thirsty, Ida or OnlyFans? I'm gonna say OnlyFans.
What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Poppy doesn't know what OnlyFans is. Good. How do you know?
Is OnlyFans good, or should I not look at it?
I said that, and my 12-year-old son said good.
And he says don't look at it.
If I ever catch you doing that, you will lose your PlayStation, your phone, your computer, and everything you own. You hear me? You heard about it on PlayStation? No. What? Where?
Let me guess. You heard it on the bus.
You heard about it from Violet?
Oh.
He's pointing towards her room.
Diming her out. Dang.
DJ wants to know how much beer you put in your chili, or do you?
None. No beer.
He doesn't put
the
beer
only thing I ever use beer for is
shrimp.
Yep, cooking seafood.
Yeah, beer boiled shrimp is really good.
Yeah.
And I don't even like beer. I'm not a fan. But I like my Merlot, don't I?
Yeah.
Not drinking tonight, though. I got to shut this. It's making me crazy.
And that's it?
Yeah, that's all. Doesn't take much, does it?
No, it don't. You're right on that line.
I know. So don't push me. Y'all, I got a hair in my mouth, and I don't know where it came from. It's like a piece of fuzz.
Stop licking the cats.
That's probably what it is, stinking cat hair. I told you to keep them off my stinking table. Well, she's not dead. Wait a minute. We're not talking about that. Please don't do that.
I thought she was really, 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 really old and died of natural causes.
I don't like politics, and I don't like discussing it. And I don't like talking about conspiracies either, because I don't care.
Well, that politics make people angry.
Well, yeah, and politics makes people mad anyway, and I don't want to be mad today. And the first reason is I don't care. I just don't care. I would like to eat shrimp if I could eat it. Oh, no, DJ, don't tell me you're one of those that's allergic. Are you allergic to shrimp?
Most people, they're not allergic to the shrimp. It's the iodine in it.
Well, it's in the shrimp, so they're allergic to the shrimp. Oh, yeah, Cypress. Laura, I'm sorry. You put your water in your pot, and you pour some beer in it, maybe a whole can.
A whole can of beer.
And then you take some Old Bay seasoning and you throw it in there.
Butter.
I guess you could use butter if you want. I wait till the end for the butter. And then you just boil all that together. Throw your shrimp in till it's pink. Do not cook it too long or it's going to be terrible. Give it a minute, Laura. Give it a minute. I don't want to do that unless
it continues.
It continues. Thank you. I didn't know which words to use. Oh, he is allergic to shellfish in general.
Oh, bummer.
Well, it's okay. There's other things that you can do.
Ooh, he could do your mock lobster.
I know. Did you see me make the fish last night, DJ? Or early this morning? I don't think you did. Go back and look at my last live stream before this one. I made poor man's lobster out of halibut. And I boiled it and broiled it in the oven with butter and garlic and Old Bay seasoning, and it was delicious. Absolutely delicious. So you can try that as long as you can eat fish, because it's not shellfish. It just, you're making it kind of taste like lobster, but it's actually just a white flaky fish. I used halibut. You can use cod. You can use grouper, which you probably have a lot of grouper in your area. Mm-hmm. Any kind of white flaky fish. So as long as you can eat fish, you can do this recipe. Or just give it to your mama. She'll do it for you.
Oh, the floodgates by Alliance are breaching.
The floodgates by Alliance what?
Louisiana, Charlotte.
Oh, is that a town?
Yeah.
The floodgates to Alliance... It said Alliance Water.
If people are from Louisiana, they know what the heck I'm talking about.
Hey, Patrick, how are you?
See,
I hope that Wesley got to try some of that poor man's lobster. You know what? I saved him 2 pieces, Patrick.
Little tiny pieces.
And did you taste it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was good. But they're tiny.
Apparently they weren't big enough and I didn't save him enough. So I'm going to have to make some more.
Especially since that was your second batch.
Yeah, well, I told him that you were mad with me the first time. What?
See that? That's Alliance. It's on the canal, the huge canal.
Oh, y'all, there is water all over South Mississippi. South Louisiana. You know, I was looking at a map earlier today. One of the streamers that I was watching that's doing constant updates showed a map of the portion of Louisiana that was going to be underwater by tomorrow. And it was about 1/3 of the state. And that was eye-opening. I could not wrap my head around it. And now, here it is. The storm has come ashore. It's halfway through the state now. Well, halfway through the bottom of the state.
Here, read that right there.
It says,
breaking news, Plaquemine government.
Please hush so I can see. Plaquemine's governor is asking folks in Jesuit Bend to evacuate. Emergency crews are trying to do 911 call to let everyone know that they need to evacuate as soon as possible. From Oakfield floodgates to Alliance Water. Water is breaching a levee in the area. So right now, the levee is being breached. And
that sucks.
And there's people running for their lives right now. And that is just heartbreaking.
And it's like 11:30 at night.
It's 11:30 at night. How the hell are they going to see in the dark? And the streets are covered in water. Their houses are covered in water, for God's sake. I'm just speechless, y'all. I don't know what to say about that. There's nothing you can say about it, you know. There's just nothing you can say about it.
It's definitely horrendous. But did you notice you started talking about chili, and guess who pops up?
I know. I just started talking about chili, Patrick, and bam, there you are.
He heard it. His ears were ringing.
You must have heard it, and wherever you were, and you said, "Gotta get on there. We're gonna talk about some chili." We're gonna do our video tomorrow, but I'm not gonna post it tomorrow.
Oh, here's the floodgates. That's what they look like.
Oh, okay. I wish you had it on your phone so that I could flash it up here for people. So apparently there were floodgates and they've been breached. And it looks like those floodgates are about 12 to 15 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just eyeballing it. The sad thing is these people don't have power, so they're not getting the notifications. Exactly.
Yeah, because if their cell
all the communications are down, people, and not only that, Kat, but they've had their phones all day using them. So,
okay, here.
Hang on a sec. He's showing me something else. 2 miles west-northwest of LaPlace. 2 houses are on fire. Roads and cars are completely underwater. Water is halfway up many houses, with residents seeking rescue on rooftops in the middle of the night in a hurricane. A few of us on boats attempting rescues. There's too many large trees. Oh my God.
Yeah,
and that's happening at 12:34, which is, well, that was Eastern time. It's happening like 10 minutes ago. DJ, I believe so, but I will check and let you know as soon as I know. Poppy's got my computer right now, but give me a day or two and I'll let you know, okay? About the Creative Commons. You gonna try to do a dang reaction to my channel? If so, I will give you a Creative Commons and I'll just click it and change it for you. How's that? I would hope you keep all extra oh, we do, Laura. We have a whole drawer full of batteries. We have, let me show you what we have. I bought these little lights at Walmart for the last hurricane. I've got 5 of them. And they're LEDs, and they really do a great job. And what's really good is you can take them to the bathroom. Our bathroom doesn't have windows in it. And so if power goes out, it's complete. There's a tornado warning until 12:30. Take shelter now.
Can you find out where it's at?
We're having another tornado warning. But you can see in the bathroom. We can take a shower with these when the power's out. We played Yahtzee with these during the last hurricane when the power went out. And these take 3 AAA batteries. They were $12 a piece. And I probably spent too much money on them, but I wanted 5, 1 for each of our bedrooms, 1 for the bathroom, and 1 for the table out here. And then, of course, we move them around for when we need it. Yeah, we just got it, Kat. We got the
Western
alert.
Harrison County, northeastern Hancock County, and southern Mississippi. Tornado, blah, blah, blah.
Radar indicated rotation.
Long Beach.
In Long Beach?
Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Long Beach, moving 45 miles an hour.
Moving north, so it's going that way. We're good, Kat. Where do you, Kat? Are you on the beach? Or are you up north on 28th or somewhere like that? I don't even know where you are. But thank you, Orange Tree. Thank you. Thankfully, we are not suffering, and but the people in South Louisiana are, and they need all the prayers they can get. They really do.
Diamond Head. Lyman.
What'd you say?
The dangerous storm will be near Diamond Head around 11:55, Lyman around 12:05.
Apparently, there's a dangerous storm 20 minutes north of us.
That's the one that's got the tornado in it.
That has a tornado in it, and it should be up there at 11:55, which is 8 minutes from now. Includes Interstate 10 between mile marker 17 and 32. That's not us.
Yeah, it is. We're 28.
We're 28. Okay, yeah. Mile marker 28.
Take cover now.
Okay. I think we're good here at the beach. It said it was moving north. There should be radio communications. People might have those up in homes or cars. You know, Orange Tree, I believe some people might have some type of radio communications over there. But, and Kat, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but my suspicion is that the lower half of Louisiana is just as economically depressed as most of Mississippi. The only place in Mississippi that is not economically depressed is the coast, Jackson, and Oxford up by Memphis. A lot of this state is very, very poor. And I have the same feeling about South Louisiana as well. So, Kat, could you confirm or deny that for us? I know, Kat. I know. But you know what? If you move away, you're still going to have folks here that you'll be concerned about, and your heart won't be able to take it then either. Yeah, she says I'm absolutely correct about that. So I'm going to go on and expound on that a little bit. The economic status of the people who are going to be covered in water in 8 minutes, who are running in the middle of the night and on tops of their roofs. My suspicion is that the reason they could not leave, or if they couldn't leave, the reason is they didn't have the money to leave. And I know that happened here in Mississippi too. It's the 29th of August. If you're receiving state benefits, you don't get paid for 2 days. So you're at the end of your month. Even if you have Social Security, you're at the end of your month. If you're on disability, you're at the end of your month. And then a hurricane comes and destroys everything you have, threatens your life because you couldn't afford to leave because you're at the end of your month. And I think people forget that when they are watching all this stuff unfold on television. And I'm getting a little bit emotional, and I don't really mean to. But a lot of people are stranded because of their economic status. And they don't have anybody to help them get out. And and I know a lot of people after Katrina were very judgmental. Why didn't you leave? Why didn't y'all leave? You knew there was a hurricane coming. They couldn't leave. They couldn't just leave. I had a friend who lived in North Gulfport who had 6 children and no job. And she couldn't leave. She ended up with a hole in her roof the size of a car. Now, a car didn't come through her roof. I'm just saying that's how big the hole was. Water in her house a foot deep. I agree, Laura, and they should get public transportation to get people out. Of course, now you do have your old folks and your diehards that and Dwayne just said it, it's easier said than done for certain people. There are those people who wouldn't leave if you set a bomb off underneath their house. They're stubborn, they're set in their ways, they think they know what's best for them, and they're going to make their own choices regardless of what's about to happen. But you know what? That's what makes up this civilization. That is the you can't help those kind of people, and that's okay. But the ones that you can help, give them a tank of gas and the money for a hotel room and let them get the heck out. You know?
Or even give them a voucher.
Or get a free buses to take people to hotel rooms and a voucher. Why can't these hotel rooms open their doors for people like that? I don't understand it. And
all it'd be was a big fat tax write-off.
It would be a tax write-off for them. And I know that's a lot of people. I understand that that's a lot of people. But it just seems like when crap hits the fan, people need to come together and help folks avoid these kinds of disasters. Is their house still going to be destroyed? Yes, it is. But they might not lose their lives. I'm scared to death to wake up in the morning to find out how many people are unaccounted for. And I'm imagining now, because I can kind of see it in my head what's going on over there, because I'm looking at it on here. You're seeing videos. I know the layout of the land over there for the most part. And when I saw Grand Isle go underwater this morning, and then I learned that 40 people stayed on the island, it scared the daylights out of me, because all I could think of is, well, there's 40 people there that are not going to live. And by in the morning, we're going to find out that they're scattered here. There are public shelters, but many don't want to go because of the conditions. That's correct, Kat. I wouldn't want to go.
And COVID's still going on.
And with COVID still going, yeah. So you not only do you have to worry about the criminals in the public shelters who are out there to get whatever they can get and take advantage of this situation, but you have to worry about catching COVID and dying anyway, especially if you're an elderly person. There's no way I'd go to a shelter. I'd sleep under my car first. But that's just me. I'm one of them stubborn ones.
You're telling me.
It's hard to believe that they don't already have some sort of emergency evacuation plan in place. You're right, Patrick. Especially after this is the second time this has happened in this neck of the woods. Katrina was the first one.
Well, Katrina did not hit.
But nobody look, wait a minute. Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
Katrina was the first one on the coast that did that. It had been the first one since Camille. Camille happened in 1969. I want to say 1969. Katrina happened in 2005. And there were public shelters back then. But in New Orleans, they didn't know the levees were going to break in New Orleans.
Yes.
New Orleans did not get hit head on by the hurricane. What New Orleans' downfall was the levee system and the storm surge. I remember watching news coverage of hurricane from Virginia. I'm going in and out. If I'm going in and out, it's because of the weather, you guys. I can't stop it. But what happened was they didn't realize that was going to happen to New Orleans. And it wouldn't have had the levees held. New Orleans would have gotten out of Katrina unscathed. Mississippi, on the other hand, would have been completely annihilated like it was. However, they had buses. They had buses to take people in and out after the levees broke. And they were lining buses up to get people out of the flooded areas, and they took them to the Superdome, and there they were victims of every kind of crime you can imagine, because every kind of member of society was all packed into one football stadium. It was bad. People were shooting each other. The crimes were terrible. And so my point is, in saying all of that, it seems like somebody might have learned to help people before it gets to that point from the past hurricane. But now we're learning tonight that that's not necessarily what's happened. I don't know. I might be judging too early.
Well,
because I'm emotional about the fact that I know people are suffering 100 miles from me. And it really has me upset. So I need to wait and hold back my judgment until I find out what really happened and why. I mean, if people stayed and it was their own choice to stay, yes, rape was rampant. It was. Women were being raped in the Superdome. I can't even imagine. I can't. I remember hearing those stories and reading it in the newspapers and seeing it on the news. And I also remember seeing helicopters go to rooftops to try to drop food and rescue people, get them up in the baskets, and seeing people in New Orleans standing on their rooftops shooting at the helicopters. Now, what is that? And I saw that with my own eyes. It was ridiculous. Somebody comes to help you and you want to shoot at them. And you're standing there on your roof surrounded by water. Your house is an island. I don't get that. Hello, Great Lakes. How are you doing? How's Michigan today? I bet it's a lot nicer there than it is here, at least today.
Right.
Any manors where older people are needed to be moved in case? I'm sure there are. And also, guys, it would be a massive undertaking to rescue everybody. Because that hurricane covers the entire state of Louisiana and part of Mississippi.
Well, right now it's even touching Florida.
Right
it's down
now,
to a 95-mile-an-hour storm.
Right now, there are bands of it going over Florida. That's how massive the storm is. So, I mean, if you can imagine rescuing the entire bottom half of a state, I'm not sure how feasible that would be.
They've got a process where they switch all the lanes but one road or one section of it outbound.
Yes.
But I saw a couple of Google feeds saying it's bad, it's going to be bad, get out now, we can't flip the interstates, get out. So the government was telling people they could not make it easy for you, but get out now.
Yeah.
And some heeded the warnings and some not so much.
Well, and some couldn't, like I said before.
I understand that.
And that's what bothers me, is these people who can't afford to leave are forced into life-threatening situations because of money, and that makes me sick. It makes me sick. Because if I had enough money to send them, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And I know a lot of you would. If you had the money, here, go save yourself. Go save your family, please. If I had room, of course, you got to be careful who you invite to your house.
Yeah.
I'll definitely put somebody up in a hotel. I ain't bringing them home with me. I had too many, I got kids here. I got to protect mine. Great Lakes says it's hot and stormy in Michigan. I can't hardly even imagine that. Great Lakes were pretty hot and stormy here too. Actually, it's cooled off quite a bit. Check your weather report. I think it's only about 77 degrees, which is great. But as soon as this hurricane blows out, it's going to be 95 with 100% humidity, because that's the way it always is at the end of August. Always. Oh, no, it's going to, well, what does that say?
It says 80.
Our low was 77. Our high was 89.
It says it's currently 80 degrees with a real feel of 77 and rain.
Okay, well, it's 80 degrees and it feels like 77. It's really cool out there right now, comparatively speaking. But the mayor should have the buses told to be ready. We were told on the one fire, when it's time we have to go, they had school buses on. Yeah, I agree with you. I can't argue that, Laura. I can't.
They might have had buses. I don't know.
And they might have bussed some people out. They might have. Great Lakes is monitoring the ham radio. So is anything juicy going on? Share.
Ham radio, sometimes you can get certain police
I was
vans.
just about to ask, can you get information from Louisiana on your ham radio all the way up in Michigan?
Bouncing signals.
That's what I'm wondering.
Sometimes you can bounce a signal from
around the world,
Florida to California.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to skip it right.
I guess so.
And sometimes, I mean,
that's
all
fascinating.
It's all about weather.
Oh, is it? Well, they ain't getting nothing then.
No, you have to have the right weather to skip it from one side of the country to another.
Laura, I do remember all that Superdome drama.
But
I surely do.
But some of these ham guys, they've got like super cool stuff, and they're all digital, and they can pull stuff out of the air that's you can't normally pull out of the air.
Well,
all depends on
I think
what his rig is.
I think those ham radios are pretty fascinating. I really do.
Can we buy you one?
No, I don't want one. I just think they're fascinating. Shoot, no, I don't want one. If I had me a ham radio, I'd be talking to people all over the place. Just like YouTube. Just like YouTube, y'all. This is like my own personal ham radio right here. So nothing else?
Well, another woman was calling, throwing her stuff on social media saying, "Come get my mama out of the attic."
Did we have that kind of social media in 2005? I don't think we did, y'all.
I don't know.
That's one good thing about. Ooh, it's raining now. Ooh.
Says we're gonna have.
I can hear that wind blowing the rain up against the house. Might even get Russia. I don't know how to speak Russian though.
He contacts in all 50 states, 66 countries with 100 watts and a wire.
Oh wow!
Now, how much can you crank it up before the FCC bothers you?
Well, apparently they know how. I mean, they know what to do.
That's why I was asking him how much
you want to know. Oh, okay. You want to know.
Because everybody's got a limit on how much you can blast that thing before the FCC starts to cry. Mm-hmm. And they've got their ways of finding people that do crank it too much.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Sneaky government.
Yeah, pretty much. I just interviewed, she is trapped in her attic in the place. This is unreal. She's located here.
Oh, that's the same woman.
Yeah.
That's the same woman.
That's trapped with all them people.
How did he interview her?
On the phone.
Oh. No, I was going to say that they're allowed 1,500 watts.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Oh.
1,500 watts?
Okay, then.
You have to have power supplies and all kinds of cool stuff to make that thing crank.
I did not know that.
I'm not a ham operator at all. I work for a communications company, and we do stuff for first responders, military. So I know a little bit, but we've got some ham guys, and they've got amazing systems at their house. I don't know where they got the money to make that stuff. The wife might be a sugar mama.
Laura, are you talking about Marcel? Or are you talking about my little fish back here in the backyard? Because they're both safe. They're both safe. And I have my new little baby back here. I moved him to the aquarium.
Where's he at?
He's right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's Hot Lips over there. We're going to let him grow up a little bit before we put him in the pond. He needs to be a little bit bigger. But, what was I talking about? I got interrupted by your ham radio talk. Your questions. Oh, the one thing I was going to say is that this is fascinating to watch all of these tweets and stuff come over social media, because back during Katrina, of course, there was no Twitter. All we had really back then, I think, was Facebook and Facebook Messenger, maybe some AOL, and MySpace. There was MySpace back then. So maybe because of Twitter and because of Instagram and all of those social media platforms, more people will be able to be saved and get the help that they need faster, instead of having to wait 7 days to have water drop down to them from a helicopter.
Right.
Like what happened during Katrina. There were people standing on the interstates, because the interstate ramps were the only places where the overpasses were the only places that weren't covered in water. And they were living on these overpasses for days on end, trying to get rescued with no food, no water, no shelter, no protection from the elements. And I'm sure it just had to have been brutal. Of course, I wasn't there, but anybody can imagine how brutal that would be in 100-degree heat. They have a live Ida, Texas storm watch on another YouTube. I did not know that. I'll tell you what, I watched Ryan Hall, y'all. That's the name of a YouTuber who's a weather YouTuber. And this is the first time he's ever done a major hurricane. And he started streaming at about 6 o'clock this morning and did not end till about 9 o'clock tonight. He did a fantastic job. Absolutely phenomenal. And I watched him most of the day. Most.
See that house right there in that neighborhood?
Yeah.
That's where that lady and all those people are.
Oh my goodness. Well, she could have left.
Maybe.
He was just showing me the house that the lady who's stranded is in, and it's a great big beautiful home. And I'm thinking, yeah, she could have left. Two guys I work with have a small unit in their a ham unit?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
But in their house, whoo, it's huge. They got the antenna and everything. I'm
really hoping that social media can help save a lot of people today and tomorrow. That's what I'm hoping. Because after watching this for the past couple of hours, it seems like somebody's listening, which is, sometimes all people need is a little bit of hope to be able to survive something like this. And if they know somebody's listening, that's the hope they need to get through and to stay motivated, to not give up. Patrick said something up here, and I want to see what it is.
Hot Lips laptop.
Oh, you're laughing about Grumpus named it.
He had to have liked MASH 407.
I know, right?
He never would have said that.
Well, he said it whenever I told him he had a little outline around his lip, that black outline around the fish's lips. And he said, name it Hot Lips. I said, all right, we'll name him Hot Lips. Was looking something up and you just saw it. Yeah, there's a lot of channels that are streaming all kinds of stuff. But I was real impressed with Ryan Hall, y'all. And that's the name of the channel, Ryan Hall, y'all. And he says he's going to be back tomorrow too. So I'll be, yeah, Grumpus did named it. He did. So I'm going to be watching him tomorrow. We're watching this agenda-free TV tonight. And he's just reading tweet after tweet after tweet, and also updating where on the progress of the hurricane and where it's headed and all that stuff.
Well, what he's also doing is as he finds addresses that's got tweets on them, he looks them up in Google's Earth, finds it, and throws a pin on it to help people locate these people.
Oh wow, this guy's doing a real service to the state of Louisiana.
So any of the first responders that are watching him, they see his information or read his tweet, they can grab a pin, click it, and that'll take them right to it. And it'll take them right to it. GPS will take them directly to that house.
Even if they're on a boat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I put
That's
GPS
amazing.
on dozens of boats.
Charlotte, I will talk to you later. Hey, thank you so much for coming, DJ. We always love to have you in here, and we are going to be fine. Please don't worry, and we'll see you again real soon. Okay. Good night. Wait a minute. What was that? What was that? What was that? Kat said another near miss with. Oh God. My son just texted and said a tree fell on his girlfriend's mother's house where he's staying. They happen to be 2 doors down at the grandmother's when it happened. Holy Toledo. Cat. I don't know. You're going to have a long night, aren't you? Jesus. Sometimes it doesn't feel right being the only one that's safe, does it?
Right now we are in a hotel at the place.
I hope nothing more happens to Kat. I hope nothing else happens tonight. Good God.
Dang.
What?
These people were in St. Charles. They were told to evacuate, so they evacuated to the place. Oh, I'm talking. To the place, and the hotel they're in's got a backup generator, but it's flooding really bad. Their cars are underwater, and some of the cars are floating.
So they were in...
They were in St. Charles. They were told to evacuate. They got to evacuate to La Place, and that's where the stinking hurricane
La Place is where all of the terrible stuff is happening right now.
So it went from the
you know,
it
seems like it's been in La Place for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Is it not going anywhere? Is it not moving?
It's going slow as mud, I think.
Well, apparently Ida has decided to settle in South Louisiana because it has not moved.
Taking up residency.
And I don't understand that because it was hauling butt to get there in a hurry to go nowhere. I know you wish you could help. I wish I could help. My God. I wish I had a boat.
Okay, horrible news coming from the place. This is actually the first ground truth that I've gotten.
Read louder.
Well, you're starting to read, so here, read.
Horrible news coming from La Place. This is actually the first ground truth we've gotten, but looking at Frenier Landing gauge by Hurricane Chaser Hurricane Track and the rain that continues to fall, this was a big fear. Flash flood emergency in place for the next 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 more hours of this for them. And what's concerning is how much higher is the water going to get. Because if it keeps raining and keeps raining, it's just more water on top of the surge that's coming in and the levees breaking and all of that. I just can't even wrap my head around it, honestly.
This place only has inches, which is
well, that's good. I mean, I don't know. I can't even imagine my house with inches of water in it, let alone feet. But guys, I think we're going to pack it up and try to get some sleep this evening. I don't know how well that's going to work, but we're going to try. And I know Poppy can go sleep. He can fall asleep sitting up if he wants to. But
Navy training.
I might be back tomorrow depending on what's going on. I do have to make some actual videos that I edit and post. So I need to start working on that. I might end up having to wait to do that when the kids go back to school and Poppy goes back to work. Because I like to work alone.
She said we're annoying.
They are annoying. Especially when I'm trying to do something. Take care, Patrick. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for showing up on the live stream. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of your company and your support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll see you again real soon.
Good night.